Did More Reading. This is Tom with Jay. This is number 6. This is number 6.
Number 6, yes it is.
Podcast of I Should Have Did More Reading. New extended theme, by the way.
Do we have the information on that song?
No, I was looking today. I will find it, though. It's a Creative Commons song, so we're not going to get sued at the moment for using it. But I will find out who the artist is, because it's a great song, actually. And there is singing in there sometimes that people can hear. I Should Have Did More Reading. The theme of today's show is, or at least our initial goal, is to talk about the right way to do Christmas. And it is a Christmas season. This really is transferable to anything, though. Any large family gathering with traditions and requirements and stress and all that stuff that you have to do. And we're doing different things for Christmas. I know you're doing something different, your own thing for Christmas, and everybody has challenges. And so we're wondering if we're doing the thing the right way. We do a little bit different, I think, than generations before us. And with technology now, it's a different ballgame altogether. So before we start, let's get this out of the way. You can find us on Twitter at Shoulda Did More. That's at Shoulda Did More. On Instagram at I Shoulda Did More Reading. On Facebook, go to facebook.com, I Shoulda Did More Reading. Just put in I Shoulda Did More Reading. Nobody else is dumb enough to have a title that long on their website. You can visit us on the web at I Shoulda Did More Reading.com, and then email us at I Shoulda Did More Reading. I Shoulda Did More Reading. This is a typo, Jay.
Come on, I should have did more reading
at
Gmail.
gmail.com. The Gmail was missing from this.
Well, I mean,
subscribe to I Shoulda Did More. This is crucial. Subscribe
it's
to
at CompuServe.com.
Yes, subscribe to iTunes and YouTube. You can find us there. And we're also on Google Play, Stitcher, and TuneIn, and here and there and all over the place. And for the time being, that's it. But do subscribe. It makes us happy, you know. It's a tiny bit of validation in our lives. So I think there's a few different ways to parse out Christmas and what the whole endeavor is, because it's a big tradition in almost everybody's house. And it can be stressful. And why do we do it? It's like, why do we all voluntarily do this stressful crap every year? Wouldn't you want to just make a stress-free time of year?
You know, it's something that just popped into my question I had. Did you go to Catholic school, elementary Catholic school?
Negative.
Okay. So that has a huge impact on Christmas. And because the whole Catholic school is, it's all about Jesus Christ and all that stuff. So all we're learning about is Christmas and things like that. So it really ties into how the family, how we do Christmas, as it were. So I wasn't sure. I wanted to see if you went to Catholic school to see.
No,
if
I didn't go to Catholic school. We used to go to a late. I'm a Protestant, so there was a late Christmas Eve thing. We don't have masses, something, whatever the Protestants do for masses. And then I remember on Christmas morning, a lot of Catholics around the family had to go to some thing on Christmas morning. But no, never. But really, in our house growing up, although we appreciated the fine legacy of Jesus Christ, that really wasn't what it was about. It was about toys.
Yeah, indeed.
You know,
not clothes.
Jesus,
so
no. I still have a short list of people who gave me clothes from 1976. So how does being Catholic?
So no, I wanted to see, because it is a huge impact about with the household. My family was really religious, and so I wanted to see if that had an influence in how we're going to speak today.
Well, I mean, there are some people who that is the day, but I mean, you still woke up and ran and got presents, right?
Oh yeah.
And did you run and just rip everything open, or was there some order to it all?
No, there was order, absolutely. But in my family, there was such an influence of Jesus Christ. I mean, it wasn't just about gifts. It was a lot about the religion, not just the handing out of gifts.
So that is interesting.
And it tied into school, because it was just one constant message of Jesus Christ and church every week, and then, of course, the Christmas, all the Christmas traditions that sort of the church has, and how that ties into the family traditions and stuff like that. So, again, that is why I was asking if you had that background also to cement that experience, because it is an interesting tie-in.
Nope, didn't have not a Catholic thing. Protestants are very much laid back. There's no bread and wine happening. There's nothing that you have to do in a Catholic mass. There's a lot of talking back.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. The priest will say a line, and the parish says a line back to him.
You talking about Protestant mass?
No, Catholics.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I did go to Catholic school for a couple of years, and I've
lot
just
of
gone
humming.
to a Catholic. Yeah, there's a lot of inclusion from
yeah.
the crowd, and the Protestant thing here, unless it's changed.
No,
it
has not.
The Protestant thing?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Catholic.
Yeah, the Protestant service.
Yeah.
Is it's a social requirement to check in and check on the other WASPs, see if how everybody's looking, and to do a virtue signal a little bit. I'm sure there's some nice things to it, but I don't go to that now. I go to an Orthodox thing, which is super ceremonial. There's a lot of smoke. There's all sorts of stuff happening. This is hardcore. There's more stuff to do in the Orthodox Church than in the Catholic Church.
So this is the Greek Orthodox Church?
It's not
the one in Cambridge that you go to?
It's not a Greek Orthodox Church. This happens to be a Serbian Orthodox Church, but I think it's essentially the same thing.
Okay, I just want to clear this up. You just started going, though, right? Just recently?
I just started going recently. Exactly.
Congratulations, by the way. I know you didn't go for a while, but you finally gave in to...
Well, I'm under duress.
Yeah.
I'm under societal pressure to go. So I am not one with Jesus Christ at the moment. I do not have any answers there. I also don't want to hang out with the atheists either. So I'm in my own place trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's wonderful. My wife is into it. The kids are into it. It's a very calming influence in the kids, although they're not well behaved necessarily.
It's the worst thing.
But there's a lot of kids who aren't well behaved. Well, at least they're in there, and it's time when they have to not have time to themselves. Anyway, who cares? So, but we do. Jesus is involved now in our home thing, but mostly the kids come downstairs and they want to see everything under the tree, and it's a big thrill to get them stuff under the tree. But at the same time, I do feel like a heel, considering some of the stuff that we've gotten. Santa will get them their own things. My daughter listens to this podcast. That's
great. That's great.
Right, or could listen to this podcast, and other little children might as well. So Santa gets them some things.
That's right, yeah.
But the parents also get things as well. And when I see these things, and then when I see the price of some of these toys that are just absolute crap, I am wondering if perhaps we're making the wrong decision. Because you can give a 5-year-old a stick and yarn, and they'll be happy, You don't have to get the $300 blinky lighty thing.
Such a waste.
Right. That like Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, tells the kids that they have to have, and they will love for 4 hours, and then that's it.
I know. And you see it hanging around or destroyed the next day.
Yeah.
It is pretty, I know. And even talking about expensive, Legos. You play with Legos as a kid?
Yes.
Very affordable and very accessible now.
Yeah.
These small sets are $40 to begin. That's like
it's incredible.
It's not even a large set, but Lego has gone out of the really expensive, and it's just
it's incredible. When we were kids, you could only build square stuff.
Exactly.
There was no Batman happening.
Yeah, and wings, and they have all these operable ones and mechanized ones. It's unbelievable what they do now.
Yeah, I think actually, Jay, that there was the normal rectangular piece, there was a half a rectangular piece, there was the thin one that was as big as a rectangular piece.
That's right.
And then there was a thin one that was we go across that was only 2 dots. And that was it.
That's it.
That was it. You were not making it was still fun, and it still hurt like hell to step on, but it was not it was nothing fantastic. That was it. Maybe you could get something that had like a propeller on it if you got a special.
Yeah, right.
But now, I mean, I'm happy because I think the Lego movie. I think I saw it. It's a pretty cool movie.
It is actually. Yeah, they're doing a great job with those.
They are, which is it. You can't say that about everything.
No,
but so there's but $30 or more.
$39 for a simple set. Will's into Legos, so and he gets the sets, and there are 1,000 pieces, and it's great because he spends a couple of hours at the table doing that, which I love.
Yes,
but then he's done. And that's $40 right there. However, it teaches them to build and teaches whatever. But these things, they're not. They're all interchangeable. The pieces, of course, but they don't want to. Look over here on the shelf. You guys can't see it, but those are all sets.
For Instagram.
Yeah, those are all sets. Probably all of those are at least $39 a piece or whatever.
Wow.
And that larger one up there is even more. But they're not going to take them apart and do anything with it. They're just going to display them or maybe play with them a little bit. But it's not like what we had where we took all the pieces and just made thing after thing after thing and whatever came to mind.
I mean, these are like finished art. Well, so
finished is the key thing there, yeah.
Oh, so that's it. So those are done. Those are now
that's correct.
Display items.
This indeed, yeah.
Man.
So he plays with them or whatever, but
right.
But it's not like he takes them apart and starts making. Those pieces were designed and made for those particular objects.
So those are essentially models without glue.
Now. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Which so I agree with you. It's good that he's playing with them. It's good that kids because they're not attached to a machine, which is fantastic.
Yeah, right.
And I mean, you're right. It's such a learning thing to try to.
So that's just one example of how expensive things are for Christmas. I know.
Right, and it is, but it's also at least it's not a thing that they're just looking at in mouth breathing. Because we have in my family we've got a lot of those things.
I know we need them sometime though.
Well,
if I'm honest,
you mean for parents?
Yeah, as parents, yes.
Yeah, because sometimes sometimes you have to give the kids crack so that they can,
stay out of your way.
Right, stay out of your way so you can do stuff.
Write a column.
Right,
apply for a job.
Yeah. Believe me, yeah, all that stuff. So I mean, it's kind of disturbing to know that there are board meetings happening and marketing and promotion meetings happening, in Madison Avenue constantly. R&D, research and development, and focus group stuff happening, and millions of dollars going into communicating into our kids, saying, "Hey, this is the cool thing, little Johnny. This is what you need to have.
Yeah.
And if you do have this, you're going to be better on the class hierarchy than some of your friends who will think you're awesome for having this. And just trust us. I mean, we're talking like a kid to you, but it looks cool, right? And so it's just weird to think that these people, their jobs are to market to kids, to get the marketing message past us, the filter that is us, and make us not too pissed off to hear about whatever it is, to go right into your son's head and all my kids into their heads. And it absolutely works. My daughter sings the jingle of everything that's ever played, every commercial that's ever played. Yeah. And when they have YouTube, they go and they watch the creepy thing on YouTube. Not that there's anything creepy about YouTube. Some might say,
check
not
us
us.
out. Check us out on YouTube.
Yes, some might say, but not us. We're for it. But there are some people on YouTube, and all they do is open toys for kids on YouTube.
I saw that. Yeah, my son likes that. That's crazy.
The kids love that now. They love it. Oh, they're opening new toys. I don't get why that's awesome.
I know. They watch other people play games.
Yes.
Or video games.
Yes.
There
are some dudes, like 12-year-olds, who play video games and record it while they're doing it, and then upload it to the YouTube, and they've got like 5 million followers. We have 4 followers, Jay. And we're supposedly talking about maybe we should play games.
Yes, but they're quality followers.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's like Woody Allen movies. They're not making any money, but they're good.
Yeah. So 2 things. You had mentioned that the kids, it's important for them to have certain things because they go to school and everyone talks about it, and it lifts them up in the sort of the ladder of the popularity or whatever it is.
Yep.
But do you remember? I think it was the same when we were kids. I believe if it had clothes with.
For clothes, for me, it was when Nikes first came in with this red swish. I mean, that was a status symbol.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Oh yeah, that was huge.
Do you? I remember those too. We didn't have much money as a kid, my family, and but I never remember a Christmas that was not just the most exciting thing. Even though when we were younger, things were recycled and stuff like that. It's just that's the way it was. But the other thing too is that we didn't sing the jingles of commercials or get hooked into that. I don't think as kids. I don't think they had as much marketing like that as they did. But I do remember one of the greatest things that ever came in the mail was the Sears catalog. Come on. That was the greatest
right.
So great.
Damned right.
I'm not talking about the underwear section.
No, that was later. But the Sears catalog was totally...
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, that was an exciting thing.
That
was a 40-pound SOB, too.
I know.
That was awesome. I remember one time seeing air guns in the Sears catalog thing. When I was like 7, thinking, wow, imagine living in a world where you can have air guns.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so when we were young, we had I don't know if you remember this. I ask a lot of people, no one remembers the Kapop guns.
Was that with the big balls?
Yeah.
I remember
and the
those.
orange gun.
Yep, I remember those. The plop balls and then, hey,
Absolutely. Will, what's up, buddy? We have a little visitor here. What can I help you with, sir? Okay, thanks very much. Take care. Checking in. Thanks. That was Will.
This is a good time,
Will
actually.
Will
this is a good time for me to play a Christmassy commercial.
Take the hall with power of glory. Tis the season to be jolly. No. Not ra 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 la 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 la. Sing like this.
This is from Christmas Story.
I
Do you
love
remember
that
this?
part. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's completely politically correct, but it is a wonderful movie and a great scene.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. Try again. Deck the hall with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. Stop. Sing something else. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. All my fun is to ride in a horsey open sleigh.
The duck.
There we go.
It's smiling at me.
Absolute classic. It was an absolute classic movie, and just one of those things.
Yeah, no, from that, they left to have Chinese food because the turkey was ruined.
It was a dog. The dog had eaten.
That's
the
right.
turkey.
That's right. But
Yes.
then, so that comes to. I don't have turkey for Christmas night or Christmas Eve. Do you? Do you have turkey?
Unfortunately, I don't know why it happens, but that seems to be the fare of every Christmas. I don't want it to be. There's another thing that society tells us to have. Essentially, Thanksgiving stuff and Christmas.
Yeah,
I don't want to have it. Turkey sucks.
Absolute roast beast. Roast beast
is much better.
Absolutely,
it's much better. Why wouldn't you make the most delicious meal of the year on the most special day of the year?
Absolutely, and we've just had a big turkey, so yeah,
we just suffered through turkey. I mean, I think corned beef, like the Irish corned beef and cabbage.
Oh yeah,
corned beef is delicious.
Oh, absolutely.
Why not have that?
I know.
Have all good stuff. And now, see, with my old rules. Now, we can have that at my house,
yeah.
But we will go over to my wife's parents' house for a brief amount of time, and I will do that, do some of their stuff. But yeah.
What do they have?
Turkey.
Oh, they do? Okay. Yeah. I know. I don't understand. So I married up, as we both know, and for Christmas Eve, we had big beef roast with Yorkshire pudding and popovers and all that.
Oh, that's a winner.
Phenomenal with the horseradish cream and all that. Fantastic.
That's a
but
winner.
For Christmas night, we had they shipped in Dungeness crab from San Francisco. Unbelievable.
Ooh.
Yeah, good stuff. All the best of everything. It was fantastic.
Is there a diet that doesn't go just right the hell out the window for that?
I don't know. Anyone that wants to try to maintain the diet during that time is a jerk.
Or maintain anything. Eventually you just feel like hell. It's in what you forget what day it is. And, Christmas was 2 days ago. I think I'm off today. Can't imagine.
That whole time is awesome. I mean, between Christmas Eve and New Year's and all that, it's just fun to be around family. I know that we talked a little bit about this before the show about how you get with family.
Yep.
There's some forced merriment, and it's a little awkward sometimes for some people.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's we take the best time of the year and then force every family and extended family to come together. A lot of whom aren't really talking to each other anymore.
Yeah.
We spend most of the time. Well, it's the same with friends, probably. Actually, everybody just bleeps on each other when they're not around, depending on what group you're with.
Yeah, indeed.
You got to get better at that. By the way,
but at what?
About your spilling information when different people gossip.
Oh, I was never good at that.
So, when Group A, let's say that's me and Alice are here, and we're saying stuff about Group C.
Yeah.
Then when Group C comes over, you're spilling information that we've said about that because you give me.
Are you talking about last evening?
So there's a good one. There's one example, but you do it all the time. Is that you give me intel of other people that I know that they don't want me to have, and I don't need because I know that everybody's terrible. I mean, everybody just talks bad about the person who's not there. It's human nature. It's what you do.
Yeah.
So you got to look out because I think your wife is trying to, and she's much better at it because she's not an idiot.
Yeah, right.
Is trying to compartmentalize what gossiping belongs in what silo.
So I think that could be kick her in the ass, though. Eventually, that's why I'm saying stuff. I'm open about it.
Well, but you're just selling information, or you're just spilling information.
Yeah,
you're a leaker.
So I have 25-year-old friend.
Yep.
And then talking about, this is the case of last evening, about a 3-year-old friend. So there's a huge difference there, really.
No,
And-
but that's different. But you're just not a good keeper of
Okay.
information.
So-
So I don't. But I always. But it's fine because
Be
I
careful,
just
everybody.
assume. No, everybody knows this. Everybody knows that they have different groups of friends who
Yeah,
come over,
true.
and everybody talks about the other group of friends.
Yeah,
it's what
exactly.
you do. I mean, unless we're the only miserable people on the earth, I think that's what people do,
no.
and it's fun. I mean, what else is there to talk about?
No, you're right.
Especially like this day and age in a town like this where it's where everybody's trying to like show a certain status, whatever.
Keep up
it
with
brings
the
out the worst in
Joneses. Yeah,
people.
yeah, I
so
don't
it's
like
good
that.
to gossip. I like.
There's a special amount of that in this town.
There is. We're in a suburb outside of Boston that's highly overrated. It's a nice town, but it's way overrated, so it's attracting a lot of people.
Agreed.
Hey, you know what I wish I had? I wish I had the cut from the Christmas thing with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Chevy Chase.
From the Christmas Vacation.
Yes, with Todd and Margot. It's
I don't know, Margot.
exactly. It's that stuff that I wish we had. Thankfully, though, I do have a. I think I do have a. Do I not have this?
Is this from Christmas Vacation?
Yeah, I thought
we
I
just
had
watched
something
the other
from
night?
Christmas Vacation.
Mandatory Christmas movie.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. I maybe I don't have it. Let me.
Did you queue up some things for today?
I did. There's Elf. I have Yes, Virginia. I have It's a Wonderful Life. Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, nice.
Christmas Story. My goodness, I'm missing the one I wanted.
Why are you smiling like that?
I just like to smile. Smiling's my favorite.
Make work your favorite. That's your favorite, okay?
Okay.
Work is your new favorite.
Fine.
It's time for the announcement.
Okay.
Okay, people, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
Love that guy.
Wasn't a fan. Not a fan of a huge fan of Will Ferrell, but I respect him certainly. So okay, we got sidetracked there. Where were we? Talking about Christmas and people coming over who. Oh, that's right. People who you don't usually talk to, and how that's can be awkward, and why would we have to that time of year spend that much time with people who we don't want to be around? I mean, I don't really have that problem anymore.
Well, if I could give an example of that,
Mm-hmm.
my brother, there's a family tradition that's ever since, I don't know, for 40, 50 years, I don't know how long, but a long time, where Christmas night, the whole family would get together and include all the cousins and their significant others and all the kids, everybody. And then at one house, and Santa would come and everyone would get gifts and stuff like that. But growing up, and especially in my teenage years, I just didn't like to go. It's not because I don't like my cousins and my family or anything like that. I just didn't like. I saw them, maybe a couple of times a year. So seeing them again on Christmas night, it just wasn't my thing. And then moving back to the Boston area a couple of years ago, I went for the first year, and I'm just not a fan of doing those type of parties, like the Christmas night party. I know Loic's going to be upset hearing that, but what we did do last year, which you were a part of, is we had a very large roast, and just friends came over for Christmas night, and I thought that's the way I like to spend Christmas Eve, is close friends,
Totally agree.
immediate family, and
Totally agree.
around a dinner table, and have a great dinner.
Yep.
And music and some libations. So
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I mean, that's what it should be. I mean, I don't think. You know what? I'll let the great Clark Griswold describe what the part of the problem is.
Boston Herald.
Oh, sorry about that. This is stolen
have to
merchandise.
flag that.
Stolen merchandise. Here we go. Ready? This is Clark Griswold. Oh, dang. Okay, I'm going to have to do this a different way.
So Clark Griswold and I'm hoping
The beautiful Beverly D'Angelo.
she wasn't she?
Let me listen to this, and this is...
A very Merry Christmas.
Oh, here we go.
What are you looking at?
Oh, the silent majesty of a winter's morn, the clean, cool chill of the holiday air, and then Cole in his bathrobe, emptying a chemical toilet into my sewer.
There we go.
Already has the edits in there. That's great.
There we go.
That's the good old Randy Quaid, right?
Yes, great actor. Great actor. We love it. So, I think another thing that we do both agree that is great about Christmas stuff is just the thrill of watching the little people believe in magic, because it's very pure. You know,
It is, yeah.
not that it certainly exists. Santa exists.
Yes.
But there is nothing so unfiltered as a kid during Christmas and seeing like everything that's laid out in front of the tree.
Oh no, it's that's why we get up at 5 a.m. and try to get down there before they get down to see their initial face and all that, and to see that smile, and it's just magical because we remember it. I remember it as being that way, and you want to pass that along to your kid for as long as you can. Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot of times that things feel that way, or there's not a lot of opportunities for so it is great. I love that too. Looking forward to it.
Toys now are better than ever. Kids' toys are like better than ever. Kids can get little pretend cars that drive around the yard.
Yeah,
that you just have to plug them in, and they drive around like pretty fast.
Yeah,
I was at a kid's house friend's house last year, and he had like 3 acres of land, and he had 2 like Jeeps. And the kids would drive around and hit each other. They didn't care, and they were having fun.
That's great.
It's like, my goodness, this is like you can have everything.
We had the big wheel, right? Did you have the big wheel?
Oh, that was huge.
With that sandy sound. As it going on.
The big wheel was total freedom.
That was fantastic.
That was freedom.
Pulling the brake and doing a side. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes. And then when the green machine came along,
awesome.
That was like going from biplane to a jet.
Yeah. It looked pretty complicated, but it was pretty fun. Yeah.
But it was person power in keeping it going.
Yeah.
And there was not a helmet in sight.
No. Before that we had a pedal car. It was steel. So it was heavy, but it was, you sit in it. And
those are terrible.
I know. But I do remember it. It was pretty fun.
All right. Should we take another commercial break here?
Ahead.
Hold on.
Unless you want to take a caller? Oh, we don't have phones or anything.
Commercial break.
Your Honor, I offer these letters in evidence. They're simply addressed to Santa Claus, yet they were each delivered to Mr. Kringle by bona fide employees of the Post Office Department. I offer these as authoritative proof.
Your Honor, 3 letters are hardly authoritative proof.
I have further exhibits, Your Honor, but I hesitate to produce them.
Oh, I'm sure we'd all be glad to see them. Oh, yes, indeed. Put them on my desk.
On your desk?
Yes, yes.
Very well, Your Honor. Your Honor, every one of these letters is addressed to Santa Claus, and the post office has delivered them to my client. Therefore, the United States government recognizes this man, Kris Kringle, as Santa Claus.
If the United States of America believes this man is Santa Claus, then this court will not dispute it. Case dismissed.
So there we go. That was The Miracle on 34th Street. I promise you, no children were yelled at during that commercial break whatsoever for tampering. Now, the story of Santa Claus. Do you have any information on Santa Claus? I've got it up here.
Please, help yourself.
Santa Claus, also known as St. Nicholas, which we knew. St. Nick, Kris Kringle, Father Christmas, or simply Santa. Santy in the Hiberno English. So legendary, and the early versions, the Kris Kringle one, if you see the early versions, he does not look like a nice fellow.
Yeah, no. So that, what originated in...
I'm glad you asked me that.
Yeah, it was Germany.
So he's a legendary figure originating in Western Christian culture, who's said to bring gifts to the homes of well-behaved, good or nice children on Christmas Eve, 24th December, and the early morning hours of Christmas Day. The modern Santa Claus grew out of traditions surrounding the historical St. Nicholas, a 4th century Greek bishop and gift giver of Myra. Do you know what Myra is?
Please.
I don't know. Myra.
Thank you.
I assume Myra is a place. Is Myra a place?
Oh, yes. Yes, in the old Roman times, I believe. I totally made that up.
Myra is the same as Demri is the Lycian town of Myra, the home of St. Nicholas. Okay, so that's where he's from. The British figure of Father Christmas and the Dutch figure of Sinterklaas, who is not a nice guy and looks intimidating as hell, himself also based on St. Nicholas. Some maintain Santa Claus also absorbed elements of the Germanic god Wodan.
Wodan.
Who I do not assume was pleasant as well. Who was associated with the pagan midwinter event of Yule and led the wild hunt, a ghostly procession through the sky. Jesus.
That's everything I understand about it.
Yeah. You just have Wodan. Santa Claus is generally depicted as portly. I'm surprised that's.
I
still
know,
like
really.
That. I'm surprised it's still like that. I'm surprised
We talked about that in the Rudolph episode.
Episode 4.
That's
episode
correct.
4? Joyous, white-bearded man, sometimes in spectacles, wearing a red coat with white fur collar and cuffs, white fur cuffed red trousers, and black leather belt and boots, who carries a bag full of gifts for children.
Sicko.
In this day and age, I know. This image became popular in the United States and Canada in the 19th century due to the significant influence of the 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas. That's the one. How does that go?
I don't know.
And all through the night, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Oh, that's right. I forget who wrote that, though.
Yeah. A gift for children. 1823. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
A Visit from St. Nicholas. That was and of caricaturist and political cartoonist Thomas Nast. This image has been maintained and reinforced through song, radio, television, children's books, films, and advertising. Santa Claus is said to make lists of children
Jesus.
throughout the world, categorizing them to their behavior, good and bad, or naughty and nice, and deliver presents, including toys and candy, to all of the well-behaved children in the world.
Today, everybody will get something, though.
I know. And coal to the misbehaved children. I did know one kid growing up who got coal.
Come on.
One time he got coal. I mean, there may have been a retroactive gift giving for him like 2 days later.
Oh, okay.
Holy.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh. If Santa Claus hated you and you were 8 years old, you were taking a hit to the self-esteem. My God. Give coal to the misbehaved children. Or on a single night of Christmas Eve, he accomplishes this feat with the aid of his elves, who make the toys in his workshop at the North Pole, and his flying reindeer, who pull his sleigh. He's commonly portrayed in the North Pole saying "ho ho ho," which is also something that cannot last for too long. I'm looking at the 13th century depiction of Saint Nicholas.
Is it the only castle on the left?
Yes, that's right. Sam. So there we go. That is Santa Claus, and it's Santa Claus really was the original Elf on a Shelf.
MILF on the Shelf?
Yes, that's a different show, and that's a different topic completely. Although that should be a topic actually.
I would think so.
But
so that's all interesting. That's very interesting.
Why is the Christmas outfit on like supermodels sexy with this Christmas miniskirt?
Well, same reason why a cat or a if they're
What?
sexy, they're sexy. You know, if they're in uniform, or a policewoman, or it's the same.
A cat,
Yeah, like a cat Halloween costume, or a
like a Catwoman.
Yeah, a Catwoman.
Okay.
Yeah, or thank you
Jesus.
for that help with that.
This is this went to an odd place. Okay. I'm stuck on women being in Christmas uniforms being sexy.
Yes, that would be correct. And also,
I had a Christmas one time on a cruise ship when I was stuck on a cruise ship.
was that the one that you were a photographer?
It was, yep.
Oh.
I was on a cruise ship when we were in the Caribbean, and it was very odd because in my cabin on the cruise ship at like 1 a.m, it's December 25th, there was nothing Christmassy about that cabin. It's a cabin that was like from the 60s with press radio buttons. There's like 5 silver buttons.
I like it.
And like 3 of which don't work. One is like the ship to shore, like communications or whatever. It was weird, but it was very un-Christmassy. It's weird to have Christmas and see nothing Christmassy around.
Were you by yourself?
I was.
Oh,
Yeah.
and does the ship didn't do anything on its decks?
I'm sure they had stuff out there, up, but whatever. But eventually, you got to go to sleep, and eventually, it was just a cabin with the.
No holiday decorations, as opposed to Christmas decorations.
Well, on that, since the Greeks ran the ship, I think there would have been Christmas decorations. I think.
Yeah, you know how you have to be careful now. With all these corporate. If you go to work and they say, please don't say Christmas, say holiday, happy holidays, or things like that. Or they don't put up Christmas tree; they put up holiday decorations.
Yeah, no, we had one time. We had instead of the Secret Santa, we had the Secret Snowflake.
Oh, come on!
Which is just the same because snowflakes are legendary for giving out gifts as well. But anyway, so that's the story behind at least the modern Christmas. But man, it is certainly a huge. Oh God!
Yeah,
in
I know.
Finland, they still use Joulupukki Joulupukki, the Christmas goat. I'm going to switch it up, I think, this year.
Are you on WikiLeaks?
I am. I'm on WikiLeaks for everything. So
That's it is interesting though. But just while you're looking up stuff, my son, he doesn't have the religious component in his Christmas experience.
Oh, he's
right
a
now.
heathen. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean,
Some would consider
you guys
that.
can all have Christmas together in hell. So
It appears that's going to be the case. But I think that
Christmas goat will be there.
I think it would be nice though for him to have that. I think one of the things that I didn't go to church when he was a baby because for obvious reasons. Well, the same reason why you wouldn't go. He wouldn't sit still and he would be crying or whatever. We did try once or twice, but it didn't work out. But I think now that he's older, I'd like to probably take him and have some more sort of more of a routine going to church and adding that component to his life. A little bit of spirituality, I think, is always good.
Yeah, I think spiritual. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. At his age, he's a boy who wants to play stuff. So he is. I would be surprised if he got fun out of it. I know that my kids who are younger, my daughter is 7, about to be 7. I think. What is this? I think she's about to be 7.
Yeah,
she's
a year younger than.
She was born in 2010, and this is
17.
Okay, so she's about to be 7.
So we're having that party is coming up soon, Saturday, right?
Yeah,
I look forward to it. How much work are you doing for it?
It's not that I'm doing work for it. It's just that the person I'm married to is going to do a lot of work for it.
That's
so
nice.
It's going to create stress because it's going to be a huge operation with everything done by hand overnight when my wife won't sleep probably overnight. And it'll be completely just full of stress.
Well, let us know how we can't help.
I know. So that's the deal with that. So there's Santa. I don't think you should go to church unless you're. Well, why not? I mean, let me tell you one thing. The kids generally are kids during it. My kids don't behave during it.
Yeah.
They're
But that's
walking around. They're doing stuff. The little one's too young to know. He doesn't care.
Yeah, your wife seems to be immune to that, which is great. I'm not able to handle that, but she does a good job.
I'm immune to what? The kids going crazy?
To all that.
She's just tougher. Women are
Yeah.
much more tolerant.
Oh,
in ways
I know they certainly are.
I mean, that's a good topic actually.
Yeah.
Ways that we would never be. Like we're. That's a different topic. I don't want to get off way too far. So, what are some other standout things that you got for Christmas that you thought as a kid that really were like something you had to have?
I do recall the boombox, the gray boombox, or actually I think it was black at the time. But the cassette boombox, with the radio, it was pretty big too. Did you have one of those? Was there a year that that's all you wanted, so you can record Casey Kasem on a cassette and give it to someone?
Yeah, no, I got a stereo in 1980, and then, I got a radio in 1982. My own first bought radio, which you listened to a lot of AM actually.
Oh yeah, even then, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. But some FM as well. You had to record Pat Benatar off of something. Right? So
speaking of FM, did you hear that Norway has eliminated FM officially, or is the first country to do so?
FM, not AM?
Correct.
What?
I was shocked by it too.
Why?
I read the headline. I'll have to read the body of the story, but I just saw that.
FM still works clearly.
I know. It has the bandwidth is much better on FM. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, I guess it's not bandwidth, but the
it's
fidelity
frequency
of the radio wave is stronger, certainly.
Yeah.
So FM, shoots out where AM shoots up and down.
Oh, okay.
So AM bounces.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and FM. That's why AM bounces up and down.
Yeah.
Kind of squiggly, and that's why it gets blocked by tunnels because it can't go down into the tunnel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it just bounces.
Oh, that's interesting.
And you can get FM, that kind of shoots straight across and envelops everything else.
Oh, wow.
But AM shoots much farther.
So was that a radio that required 12 batteries? Or was that just
it did require, it could plug in, but it did require batteries as well.
So portable, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Was it black or gray?
Gray.
Okay, remember there was the...
Yeah, it was a Hitachi, actually. Yeah.
All right.
So there's that, obviously the Rubik's Cube,
Oh, yeah.
was a huge
That's
one.
right.
And all the Rubik stuff that
Yeah.
came out. I mean, those were magical things.
I was never able to do it. I could do one, maybe two sides. That's it.
Maybe two.
Yeah.
And it was maybe somebody could do three.
Yeah.
But we also just took it apart and put it back
Oh,
together.
yeah, that's right.
Which is another way to do it.
Yeah, another way to do it, yeah.
Norway on Wednesday completed its transition to digital radio. Hey! Becoming the first country in the world to shut down national broadcasts of its FM radio network despite some grumblings. That sucks, man. You better have a brand spanking new car. Talk about moving the marketplace.
That's interesting, huh?
As scheduled, the country's most northern regions of the Svalbard archipelago in the Arctic switched to digital audio broadcasting in the late morning.
When did they switch over?
It's Wednesday. The
Oh, yeah.
transition, which began on January 11th, allows for better sound quality, a greater number of channels, and more functions, all at a cost 8 times lower than FM radio, according to authorities. This is right out of their press release, obviously.
Yeah.
The move
I
has,
thought
however,
you'd found that
I'm
interesting.
in digital radio.
Yeah.
For the time being, and I am. It would behoove me. I mean, it would benefit me well if this was happening in here. But
I see.
But this is craziness.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know about it since that's your gig, you know.
I mean, it's not as if the population all suddenly just moved. I mean,
no, maybe it's just they want to be ahead of the times on that, and they want to.
You're forcing people to have FM radios.
Well, when did the TV broadcasting switch over? I don't know. I don't understand the terms.
Probably like 10 years ago or so. But the marketplace had moved. Everybody had switched over except for maybe 2% of people.
Yeah.
So everybody already had cable. And those, although I think those TV towers are still being used, aren't they?
I don't know actually.
I don't know
if they
either.
repurpose them or not, but. People say that the antennas work really well, the digital antennas.
Yeah, my brother's got one. I think he's got one.
On his boat?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was about, wow, who knew that? That's incredible. I did. FM radio. I mean, talk about just torching an entire marketplace. That's, wow. Yeah, I'm shocked by that.
Huh. Well, I'm glad I could,
What's going to be the next thing? What's going next?
I know. It's very interesting. So the Rubik's Cube, and then one of the other gifts I remember getting that was memorable was a record player, but this was a long time ago. This was in the 70s. I got a compact record player that was blue, and it had speakers that came off the sides, and I remember I might have been 6 or 7. I played a album of like Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah.
I forget exactly which ones they were. But I remember loving that so much. But that record player was something else.
Oh, it was great to have a good record player with a maybe an extra stylus in case you needed one.
I don't know what that is.
Do you remember putting a coin on the record if it was warped?
That's right.
All right. Technologies that will disappear in the next 10 years. Smartphones. What?
But that's
as surprising as it may sound, smartphone, which currently is a gadget that most dominates our lives, may become obsolete in the coming decade. This is TechCrunch magazine. Or no, this is GadgetsNow.com.
Well, that's because we'll have them in our contact lenses or something.
Well, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It says another 10 years we will probably be carrying our data everywhere and be able to access it from just anywhere. For
An
instance,
implant or something
via a glass-based screen on our office table, or maybe via displays in the form of walls.
Yeah.
Like
the movies.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's pretty cool stuff.
Well, the smartphone is one of the few pieces of technology that is exactly like the movies had it. Like just like the tricorder in Star Wars really is a smartphone.
Oh yeah.
The other thing that'll be disappointing.
And Dick Tracy, the Dick Tracy watch.
Was that you speaking to it? Is that
you can do everything with that now? Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Disappearing in the next few years, plastic money. I think that's obvious. Over the last many
cash
years,
in general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Plastic money has become one of the most popular means of financial transactions. However, in another 10 years, it may go missing. You may simply able to be order stuff online, and the assistant integrated in your bank accounts may do the rest. That's your jerk you have downstairs, Alexa.
That is a pain in the ass.
Also leaving, Jay, are wall-mounted TVs. Those LCD
above the fireplace.
Well, this one happens to be above the picture I'm looking at. Those LCD LED TVs that adorn the walls in our houses, too, may soon disappear. Instead, these slim TVs may be replaced by mirror-finished displays.
Yes, that makes sense.
Some variations of these are already there in the market, but are still mainstream. So mirror-finished displays, I wonder if some of the displays will be like artwork.
So just like Back to the Future. Do you remember?
It's been too long.
All right. Well, he has a display, large display screen, and then he could put many channels on there, and then he did Skype on there, and all that stuff was, it's a lot of that stuff that comes true. That the movies and the technology that transfers over. I wonder if people just get the ideas from them, or we just start to get the technology to be able to do that. But it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. No.
It's hard to believe what more is going to happen.
Well, listen to this: the remote control. That makes sense. It's funny because in a household there is nothing more immediately needed and yearned for at one moment than the remote control. Yeah, although we never had one. Remember that? Getting the hell up and turning the station?
I do remember that, yeah.
Holy hell.
Do you remember I was shutting TVs off at some establishments with my phone? Were you there? Yeah, so you can get you can get you program your phone to do your TV.
Yeah.
So mine was a Samsung or whatever. So every now and then I'll check if I'm at a bar or some restaurant or whatever. I'll hit the off button and see if the TV is formatted with my phone. And sometimes the TV just shuts off.
That's fair. You can
fun.
Put the sexy cat channel on that you were talking about earlier, which is comfortable.
We used to do that in another way, which was the garage door clickers. You did that too as well, right?
What, to try to close people's garage doors?
And open them around the neighborhood.
Remote controls are two are likely to exit from the appliance space. We know that because devices can do them. Bulbs triggered by, for instance, we may already have bulbs that are triggered with motion sensors. That makes sense. Cordless landline, nah. But I mean, if you're really kind of a jerk, if you still have a landline, with the exception of anybody listening to this right now, in which case we thank you. A cordless landline that's gone. Laptops, that makes sense. It's like everything else we've been saying.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what comes up.
Remember, like the technology that my friends used to have my next door neighbors used to have an intercom system.
Oh yeah,
and it was integrated actually
within the house
with a stereo. So there was one piece outside
nice.
that you'd say, "Hey, is Keith home?"
Yeah,
his name was Keith, and still is. And and inside they could say, "No, he's not home." But also they could play music out of all the speakers.
Oh, okay.
It was incredible at that time. Of course, kids were not allowed to touch it. It was too much technology.
Yeah, that's great. No, I like that having music being able to be pumped through the house, different zones and stuff like that. It's always been a.
Mm-hmm. So here's one I don't agree with. This has classic analog watches will go away. I don't think so. I think they're making a comeback. As a matter of fact, people like them.
Yeah, so that'll go the way of the album as well, the vinyl.
No, but classic analog watches, I think, are making a comeback.
Yeah, no,
because they're pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. For nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
People, and there's also those people who think that album, whatever.
They sound different and all
they're
that.
richer.
Yeah.
It's like external hard drives are going away.
I just showed you the one. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Speakers will go away. How does that make any sense?
I know.
Speakers too are likely to be replaced with more efficient and compact ones. Yeah, we get that.
Yeah,
so they're not going
smaller
away.
And smaller.
Yeah, we get that. Goodness.
Yeah. How did we get?
I don't know. I think we ran out.
That's the thing about the show. This show is unscripted and it's unedited.
I think they figured that out.
And unedited. So always you have everything that goes on here is live and.
So back to Christmas. I told you that it was terrible having that Christmas in that cabin on the boat. Also, I was in the Caribbean, so there's nothing Christmas about warm Caribbean wind blowing.
Yeah, right.
And like even when the Calypso band plays Holly Jolly Christmas, it doesn't feel, it feels like
it's strange,
Kon-Tiki-ish. Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
But I don't think people from that climate feel that way.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure they love it.
For us, it just doesn't seem right. But.
So we're in the Northeast right now. We're near Boston, and so we get snow. And snow for Christmas, I think snow is fantastic. It is a huge pain. And I don't know, man. I took a bunch of pictures for our Instagram today in the Seaport District. And if you look at these pictures, it just looks cold. There's that chalky white on the streets when it's that
salty.
Cold.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just terrible. And the last 2 days have been just terrible in the Seaport District. So I don't need the code. I don't need the cold. But I will take the white Christmas stuff. I mean, you can get
Yeah.
into that.
I do like that.
And Christmas lights are awesome.
I have them up. I there's nothing like a white Christmas, I think, and it doesn't happen too often. We've already received maybe 7 inches of snow a few days ago, and like you said, it's been so cold the last couple of days, and it continues to be that way. But I agree. I think that a nice white Christmas you can't beat it.
All right. So are you ready for our next tangent?
Sure. Let's do this. You like to say that, right?
I'll play an ad first, and then we'll.
You like to say it's how we do, right?
Yep.
Hello, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, George! Merry Christmas, George! Merry Christmas, movie house! Merry Christmas, Emporium! Merry Christmas, you wonderful old building and loan! Hey! Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter! Happy New Year to you! In jail!
Love him. Love Mr. Potter. That was Lionel Barrymore, right?
It's a Wonderful Life, yes?
Yes.
I love that show.
Great movie.
I don't think I watched it till I was an adult.
I think probably here too. Just I knew some of the stuff. All right, famous people who were born on Christmas. Are you ready? Can you name one?
Jesus Christ.
Good guess.
Thank you very much.
Second one, Isaac Newton, born on Christmas, 1642. You wonder how much.
Oh, she's great. She has the "Let's get physical."
That is not Isaac Newton.
Yep. Yes,
Isaac
it is.
Newton is the bartender from Love Boat. So
I thought it was the theory of relativity.
No.
Gravity?
Mm-mm.
All right, continue.
None of those. Those have been debunked, by the way. Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, great.
Man not afraid to marry an 18-year-old. She was gorgeous, Lauren Bacall. My goodness. Dad, are you a Bogey fan?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Just think he was born in 1899.
I didn't know that. Jeez, that's unbelievable.
1899. That means there were people walking around then who were in their 50s who fought in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Jesus,
oh, wow.
Bogey, old bastard.
That's one way of thinking about it. That's great.
Lou Grade, do you know who that is?
No.
Neither do I. He was born in Russia. Okay, Cab Calloway, you know him.
Of course.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Now, do we want to be born on Christmas?
That is Cab Calloway who does that, right?
Yes, I think it is. Yes, it is. Cab Calloway.
Oh
no, it's Minnie the Mooch. Is that
song
Minnie the Mooch?
is Minnie the Mooch.
Yeah, that's Minnie the Mooch, right?
But
that song.
Cab Calloway sings it.
I believe so. Yeah.
What does
almost
Count Basie sing?
You'll have to look that up.
You know what? But if he gets on the day he's born, we'll check it out.
Do we want to be born on Christmas though?
Yeah, you know what? I'm so sick of like that. It makes me. I'd rather jump out of the elevator into the elevator shaft into my death than to hear somebody say, "Oh, my birthday's right next to Christmas," and so shut up, shut up.
I think I'd rather have it on Christmas.
Correct. You know who Kenny Everett is? This must be
no.
Okay. Well, he was born on Christmas.
Good for him.
Sissy Spacek.
Sure, she's great.
What do we think of the name Sissy?
Sissy.
I know it was your high school nickname.
Appreciate that. No,
what if that's her real name?
It's like really, it can't be, right? It's an awful name to put on a child.
Well, not if you're a girl. I think there are a few.
In the elementary school and all that, that's got to be a tough thing.
Not if you're a girl.
I don't know.
Sissies are in now, I think.
Well, the new generations of sissies, yeah?
Yeah. So Annie Lennox.
Except for our listeners.
We love her. Yes. Except for anybody related to YouTube or iTunes. Annie Lennox of the Eurythmics.
Okay.
We like her.
Oh, of course. Great voice.
Great voice, and always her own person. I'm going to skip this one. She makes me angry. Justin Trudeau, the French Prime Minister, Jay.
Good for him.
Handsome French man. Or Canadian man, but it's the same thing, right?
Sure.
To some people. To some people, that's not funny.
French-Canadian.
So, that is it. My cousin John as well is born on Christmas.
Do you really have a cousin John?
I do.
All right.
I do. He could be listening to this.
Do you have a cousin Ned?
Cousin John used to come over for Christmas, actually, a lot.
He did?
A lot. Yeah.
All right.
And so, as we get older, some things that have gotten easier for Christmas are... Well, I mean, one good thing is... Well, it's not a good thing, but there's no good way to say this. Are you looking at the time? Do we have to go?
I don't know. I don't know what the time is. I was just looking for...
That's the... It's kind of the moon's position in the sky.
No, I got to pick up Dana at the train station.
Make a walk, kid. She can walk in this.
We just talked about how cold it was, right?
Don't tell her I said this. So if you look for silver linings of when parents pass away,
Yeah.
it's generally a very sad thing.
Yeah. No, it's especially during the holidays.
But the hunt for that Christmas present is then over. It is.
Yeah.
You gotta look. You gotta look. I mean, what are positive things about parents being gone? There's very few.
Yeah, there aren't any. Right?
You know,
Yeah,
there's
well,
all sorts of regrets and
I
bad
guess it
stuff.
depends on the relationships. But you know, I had
yeah,
great relationship with my mom, so it's tough. And you had a great relationship. Well,
it was fine. You know, I had the normal Generation X. My parents are jerks relationship, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there you go. You don't have to buy presents anymore.
All right. Does that include you too?
No. Well, what?
You don't get any anymore?
Oh, you're right. I don't get any from them anymore.
That's right.
That is a great point.
Wow. And both of your parents, are gone.
So I just got stiffed 2 presents.
That's right.
Where I just...
Oh, because they were separated also, so they don't have to go into...
barely. I mean, just recently in 1979. But
okay. So
it's... I don't like to talk about
too
it.
soon?
I don't like to talk about it. You know? All right. Is there anything that we've missed from this Christmas podcast? I mean, actually, technically, we should be asking, is there anything we actually hit on this,
I know.
on this podcast? Let's see. Emotionally, we agree that we get a thrill from seeing kids present, but we're being used by marketers and
corporate.
We fall for it every time because we're weak.
Well, we want to give the kids the special memory.
I know, but we're really bullied into it. You could, like you said, you could give them anything, and kids just
true. But we're not going to whittle something out of wood in a garage.
I know, because we're a sucky culture now.
Yeah, I know,
so
you're
we
right.
should imagine
we
that.
can buy everything.
Yeah, but imagine we lived more as Luddites, or that's all I have for those kind of people. But you wouldn't have to worry about this stuff. Yeah. You could just fashion something out of wood, or whittle something, and then everybody gets to be happy and all that stuff. But
we don't do that.
So,
anymore.
what do you hope? Are you getting something for Christmas?
No, I always ask for practical things. I know that's boring, but
we're old.
I know.
What
I don't want.
What would we ask for?
Yeah, exactly. I don't like things. I don't like a lot of things in my house.
Yeah.
I just I'm a minimalist a little bit, I guess.
Well, if you could get any gift right now, like to have.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like,
I couldn't even think of anything right now.
It's like same here, Jay. Like even if I'd be like pissed off if there was a Porsche with a bow. In my
I don't understand that. Yeah, I just
yeah. I mean, so great.
Yeah.
So great. I have now a sports car that costs a bleep load of money to get fixed.
It seems to me there needs to be discussion before something like that.
Yeah,
happens.
I've got 3 or 4 kids, and they're where they go. Plus, probably a lot of jerks in this town. I understand if you live in Malibu, that's the thing to keep up. You have to have a sports car. Like I don't want it. I don't want anything. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I can't think of anything offhand.
Geez, yeah, no. I think we're good. Although if somebody wants to send us something, feel free to.
Oh yes,
and that's at I shoulda did more reading at gmail.com. You can also send us an Instagram or message us on Instagram.
E-card or something would be nice. A Christmas e-card.
Jay wrote it down on this piece of paper. On Instagram is I shoulda did more reading. Twitter is shoulda did more. That's at shoulda did more. Please follow us on all these things for freak's sake. We've got nobody following us at the moment. Not that I blame you.
Don't forget about Phil. Come on, I'll feel bad if you say that.
Oh, Phil Barr. Oh, I was thinking of having Phil fill in for you when you were gone. Oh, but is he going to be gone too?
He'll probably be extremely busy. He's
that's right.
He works like 16 hours a day during the UPS.
He must
season.
clean up though.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's the hardest working guy. Yeah,
Shut up.
Thank you.
Jesus, because he's our only listener, he gets a tongue bath every time we. Shoulda did more. Instagram, I shoulda did more reading. Facebook, I shoulda did more reading. The website is I shoulda did more reading. Are you seeing a pattern yet? The email is I shoulda did more reading at gmail.com, even though Jay didn't write it. You can subscribe to us at iTunes, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube. We're also on Google Play. How long have we been wasting people's time so far? 59 minutes. We should take this to an hour.
Sure.
One more. I know that you're sweating.
Oh no,
no.
I'm
to be at the train station, and I know that.
Well,
that you're
it's
in
80
fear.
degrees out, so it's all right.
That's fine. That's fine.
What?
Nothing. And Google Play. We're on Google Play. I wouldn't even know how to find us there.
Sorry about that. No, I don't know. I'm learning all this. And
Stitcher, which I have been to. I was there once. Just to see if the logo was up there, and TuneIn, which I do use actually. Also, we're going to continue our Get Lean in 2018 challenge. It's either going to be Get Lean in 18. 18 might be days if people think about that, or Get Lean in 2018. I've got an interesting phone call as well. Maybe it's an opportunity. Or maybe I'm fired. Right now, at this time in my life, if people don't know, the company I work for has just gone chapter 11.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's not one of the better chapters, I'm told. And so anything could happen. So I'm kind of excited because I'm stupid, and I should be.
Well, I mean, it's okay, though. You only have your 4th child on the way, so it's okay.
Yeah, I only have my 4th child away, barely $50,000 in credit card debt, the good kind of debt, credit card debt.
Christmas debt.
That's what they tell you. Credit card debt is the good
Oh, yeah, no,
debt.
yeah, that's right. I think that is. Yeah,
Exactly.
It's backed up by nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, technically, if all of these companies also go Chapter 11, is there any way out of this?
I don't think so. I think you got to pay in any case.
Right, and I can't use the George Bailey thing to take myself out of the situation.
I'd like to see you try, though.
Why would you jump into a cold river to kill yourself?
That would be, I don't know. They say freezing to death is not bad, but
Is that
drowning
what they
in
say?
freezing water, I don't know about that.
How about just like winging your arm on a rock on the way down? Come on, man. No, everybody stay alive at least through this Christmas. And join us on all of these platforms here. It's Get Lean in 2018. I hope you've enjoyed this hour that you've completely wasted. But we did get some important things done, I think. I think we hit some important things. I'd love to know about your Christmases and any other observations you have. Feel free to critique us, especially Jay's odd sexual mention of cats, which I thought was it's new, certainly. It was honest, but slightly unpleasant.